Hello, creatives. Welcome to the 1% Creative, the platform for creatives by creatives. Like you know, my name is Nina Lazier, and I'm your host and also the producer. I mentioned in the finale episode that, of course, it's the finale episode, but then we'd also keep producing content, as we keep going. And this is me making sure that that promise, comes to fulfillment. So in this drop in today, it's something that has, been impressed in my heart heavily, and I'm going to have to talk about it, especially because it has shaped my creative journey. More so, it's like the reality that I live in currently. And I also think that is something that will be very beneficial to a lot of creatives. I think people generally, but I mean, I'm speaking to creatives. I believe that having this understanding would actually go or help, the creatives to become better people, or become better at what they do. More so, make sure that there's sustainability on the path. Yeah. So I'll get right into it. So I think it was a few days ago. I sat in my room and I was doing some work, but then something dropped in my thoughts: human assets and human access. I wanted to just shake it off, but I knew it was something, I was beginning to understand the deep meaning of these two categories of people in my life, and I want to talk about that concept today. Having the understanding of both would make you grow, become so intentional, and create a path for sustainability on your journey. How do I mean? Human assets, in a simple form of definition, are the people who build you internally, right? People who influence your decisions, people who also influence your creative thoughts or how you do things, people who influence your responses, people who also influence your decision making. These are the human assets in your life, right? They can come in form of mentors. Yeah, of course. I think that it's something that most people don't speak so much about: mentorship. Or most creatives, let me not use people in this context, most creatives don't, avail themselves for. Again, because we are creatives, we have the freedom of expression, we have the freedom of creation as well. I said in one of the episodes that there's this thing that comes with being a creative. I mean, it's what it is. It's a blessing. However, if not channeled properly, it can also deter you, right? You can come up with the thoughts. There could be this booming idea in your head, and you just go ahead and do it. And you do it and you succeed at it. So there's that pride that comes because you can actually do it without following anybody or without following after anybody, for the lack of better explanations, right? But you need mentors in your life. They refine your craft. Under these human assets, there are the collaborators, right? They are people who stretch your creativity. There are your colleagues, people who challenge you on the path and, just to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do. And again, there are also your friends. I'll tell you for a fact that my friends have sharpened my level of thinking, acting, and my responses to different situations. I cross a lot of things with my friends. And that's because, like I said in one of the episodes, they understand my creative flow and also my creative outlet. So it's easier to, pass on some things to them like, okay, guys, this is what I do. I do it individually. And I find that one person's response will be similar to the other person's response. You get me? So these are human assets in your life, or that you have, or that you should not take for granted, is what it is. And the earlier we begin to, place these people where they are supposed to be, or give them the much value, or show them the much value, by way of probably listening to counsel or following through with, or on the path that they've been on. You get me? Or simply being, simply being would actually help a lot. There are the human access. These people are the ones that give you entry. You need access. No matter how gifted you are, no matter how brilliant you are, no matter who you are, really, you need access. And they can come in form of different things or different people. There are the connectors. Yeah, I actually heard that thing the first time when I went for an event. I'll tell you about that event because it's something actually that has, made this particular conversation really interesting for me. And that's also one of the reasons why I want to talk about it. I remember, I think one of the organizers kept calling somebody, one person in that space. It's everybody, you need to meet this person. They call the person the connector. I'm like, okay, they're actually the connectors. And then there are the gatekeepers. I mean, that's the one most of us are very familiar with. Mhm. Gatekeepers, I see anybody at the gates, don't joke with them. I don't, anybody at the gates, I don't joke with them at all because information wise, they have it. I feel like gatekeepers see things, hear things, know things more than even the people who are passing through. So that's why they can give you access, because they know exactly where you're going. They know exactly who you need to meet. They know exactly where you need to meet these people. So gatekeepers, again, I don't want to dwell on it, but I think that is also something that I can expand on in the course of the conversation, maybe another time, right? And then there are, of course, the clients who you work for or you work with, and they refer you to better opportunities because you've shown value, you've shown excellence in your work. You know, these people give you access. I mean, there are also those who mention you in the rooms where you're not in. Like it's a blessing. I really don't want to get very emotional about this conversation, but this is something that a lot of us are living as their realities. A lot of us probably have, that's like the step, that's the ladder, they've used to get to the point where they currently are. And they are being sustained in that point or at that point. I'll talk about sustainability as we go. Yeah, they open doors for you, they give you visibility, and of course, accelerate your journey as well, right? And the truth is, I'll say this. Access without preparation is not sustainable. You might get into a room and, I mean, you're supposed to be in this room, but you're not able to stay in the room. Why? Because you're not prepared to stay in that room. So it's not because people don't have access, but people don't prepare themselves, creatives especially. I'm telling you because I struggled with this. I didn't struggle in the area of not knowing what to do. I knew what to do, but doing it was my problem. Like I always want things to be very perfect. Like I wanted to go as planned. I have the structure. But that kind of made me, not be able to stay in certain rooms because I didn't feel prepared enough. But thankfully today, that's not the case. Because what? Preparation. Even as I'm making this video, it was preparation. Because I knew, or I have it now as an understanding that despite where I'm going to, I always have to be ready because anything can happen. So as a creative, you must have that being ready mindset. Be ready. You can meet anybody. Now, this is where I think most of us creatives get stuck. Some focus entirely on assets, right? You have these things. You are brilliant, but you're hidden. E.g., I'm not saying this to be boastful, but I am a very brilliant person. I know that I'm very talented, but I stayed hidden for a long time. And it was not even a question of whether I had access or assets, right? It was a question of that preparation that I talked about initially. I was doing all of this, but behind being in front of the camera, it's the grace of God. I don't like it. But it got to a point in my life where I knew that I had to take the bull by the horn. Because I've been blessed with human assets and human access. The other party would focus on access. Yes, they have visibility, but they're shaky. Are you seeing the difference now? There are those who are brilliant, but are hidden. But these other ones, on the other hand, have visibility, but they're shaking. You can't sustain it. That's also the place of preparation. You can't, it's not rocket science. If you don't get it, you don't get it. I didn't think I was going to use that. Well, yeah. It's the truth. If you don't have it, you don't have it. So there has to be a balance of both, because there's an exponential growth that happens, or would I say a magical shift that happens when capacity meets opportunity. For fact, I'm still a work in progress. I'm still learning. I'm still meeting people. I'm still giving back in the form of these conversations. But once you build capacity, when capacity meets opportunity, then the sky will not contain you, literally. But that's the truth. So these two categories of people have a major role to play in your life, my life as a creator, because the human assets give you or help you build capacity, and the human access unlocks the opportunities for you. So these two people are major. Ignore them to your own detriment. Value them. Know, like I said, be sensitive to know who these people are, so you don't mistake or misplace their individual roles in your life as a creative. Is very important. Don't think that the man who's supposed to give you access is the one that's supposed to build you up. I find that most times the ones who give you access don't have that time to sit with you, to build you. And that's truth. So that friend in your circle who you're trying to ignore, that friend who is constantly poking you to, hey, learn this, hey, try this too, hey, do this, do that, that one you're ignoring and thinking that is that one, the other man that is supposed to do this for you, it will not work, because you're now misplacing the priorities, or you're now misplacing the roles. So pay attention, value both, and build, like, you know how you build something strong from the inside and have something impactful on the outside. I'll say that again. Knowing and valuing these two categories of people would help you build strongly from the inside and help you impact greatly on the outside. And guess what? Both sides are to your own benefit. To you first. I say it's to your benefit because no matter what is thrown at you, no matter what happens, what you know remains with you. Do you understand? Like, I was speaking with a friend some days ago, and I told her, I said, there are certain things I was just doing casually many, many years ago, down to some relationships that I had that I didn't know. I was learning some things, in the relationship, but I didn't know it was going to be beneficial to me, like many years after. The person is not in the picture, but what I learned, I'm using it now. And it's the truth. So oftentimes, what you know is what you know. But going beyond what you know, sharpening yourself, is very important. Oh, extremely important. Going back to human access, and of course having to meet people that will give you access. Yeah, I also find that a lot of times where you meet people or human access is majorly in the place of service. It's not been once, it's not been twice, it's not been thrice. It has happened to me many, many times over. So that's how, how you're able to think in retrospect, and you understand that your life has actually followed a course or a pattern for many years. A lot of people, or specific people, in the place of service. But value, especially in a world where everybody wants visibility, nobody's building, nobody's trying to, have or build, have something that's sustainable. Remember, see, capacity is currency. Like, I'll say it again, capacity is currency. Value your builders. Value those who open the doors for you. And as much as possible, don't try to take either party for granted. A lot of times, you grow, you become, but along the line, you drift from who you're supposed, or who you truly are. You probably get into yourself, and it gets into your head. Your name is all over the place, and you forget how you started or who you truly are. Please, creatives, stay the course, build, serve, and when that opportunity meets capacity, you will be the one to come and tell us. I bet you come and tell us. You spread the gospel, because it's gospel, really. So let's stop going around in circles. Let's understand that these people are very important to us and for us, and they are around us. Notice, be observant, and when you observe, be sensitive to know, be sensitive to go and meet. Most times they don't come to you. Most times it's probably from the community that you've built over the years. But don't take for granted the human assets that you have. Don't also take for granted the human access that you have. I'm going to be talking more about other topics as they come to me. But for now, my name is Nina Lazie, and I am a creative. See you in the next video. Bye.